All right, here we go. Barrientos and Blundell in an 8-minute grappling match. Again, submissions only here. We will not see any striking.
Another thing I love about having these grappling matches inside of a cage is there's nothing to say that you can't push your opponent up against the cage. It's a little bit different than out in the open grappling where you don't have any barriers.
Well, this will be interesting for me. I do have my clear belt in jiu-jitsu.
And I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And here's what I'm talking about. We have somebody pushed up against the cage, but he looked for the guillotine, got himself out of it. I think he's out of it. Yeah, there he is.
Able to pop his head out there.
He needs to maintain control here, get past those legs. I don't know if I would have circled that way. You were almost clear for the side control on the other side. And he's a little bit worried about his foot here.
Is that a heel hook?
I'm not sure he quite had anything
looking
yet.
for it.
He was definitely looking for it. He may just be using it under. He's definitely got a straight ankle lock. There you go. That's the end.
But that's when we got Victoria Mason here to give us all the inside outs of it.
It was so quick, it was kind of hard to commentate.
Nice stuff right there early on from Blundell. So he scores the first point.
I almost forgot that we get to reset and you get to see more action. I love that.
Yeah, this is going to continue for 7 minutes. So right now, 1-0 Blundell. I'll keep score for us over here.
Okay, he's almost past that leg. Once he gets past those legs, he doesn't have to worry about the choke that Blundell is threatening on him. But Blundell did a good job of circling back to his knees. Dumped him over again. He is trying to get to a dominant position here. But you know, this is a different sport. We're looking not just to be in a dominant position, but for actual submissions.
I was just about to say that. You're not able to soften your opponent up with some punches right here or some ground and pound to try and step through, you know?
He's looking for a straight ankle lock of his own. That's kind of hard to see from my angle. Okay.
Looks like.
I'm not sure that he has it. They kind of both are on each other's ankles at this point.
A little ankle fighting at the moment. I don't know that either one has a clear advantage. Barrientos trying to.
And that is one of the dangers of playing that game is if you can reach your opponent's ankle and they can reach yours, is who's ever better here.
Well, it seems to be a stalemate at the moment. Now Barrientos lets go of that heel. Or that ankle, I should say.
He's still got his foot trapped, though I'm not sure that Blundell has the angle. If he can work to get to hand fight, to get his ankle free, that would be a good thing here.
Barrientos was giving the thumbs up to Larry Max, and he was fine.
There we go. And he did the right thing there by kind of sitting into his knee, turning it into kind of knee on belly. He was able to get out of that submission attempt.
Wow.
That was a good reversal there from north-south. So that's what you can do. If you're flexible enough, someone has you north-south, you can kind of bend yourself over to take the back. And that's exactly what he did. Looking for the rear naked choke here.
Impressive stuff from Blundell here. Now he's got it across that chin at the moment. He's sinking it in just a little bit more. Nope. Good job by Barrientos to fight that off so far.
Now he has the choke on the high side, which is still finishable.
See him really twisting on that neck a little bit.
And Barrientos was able to elevate that arm and get out of the choke. But he needs to get control. Now he's starting to get control of that arm. If you get out of the choke, it doesn't help if you don't have control of the arm because then you're right back in the choke. And now, you know, Blundell's doing a good job of switching back and forth. And I don't know if I saw him tap or if Larry just stepped in because he felt like it was too deep.
Mr. Blundell scores 2 now. 2 submissions for Nate Blundell.
2-0. Interesting. Barrientos looked kind of like he was okay. But it looked deep
Yeah,
as
but
well.
these guys are kids. There's no point in waiting till one of them falls asleep.
You're right. That's a great point, Victoria. So right back to the action. It's Blundell ahead 2-0.
Blundell is doing such a good job of threatening, these leg attempts and using that to kind of control the fight here, because it's very hard to be offensive when you're constantly trying to defend something.
And, for Barrientos, you kind of got to try and pick up the pace a little bit, if you will, searching for these submissions, because you're down 2-0. So we'll see if he gets, aggressive and leaves himself open.
He is cranking on that ankle. He's doing a good job, Blundell is, of putting his leg in a kind of position to block Barrientos from coming back in, because that's what you want to do with that straight ankle lock, is kind of stand on it.
Nice job by Barrientos to work himself out of that position.
Good job to turn him back in. Now he has a head and arm, Casey Katami, but he allowed his head to be too high, and we've seen Blundell is very flexible, so he's got to, even though he's got this head and arm, he's got to keep his head down so that doesn't happen. But I think Blundell's almost out. He has the leg. If he can get his elbow, if he can tuck it in and drag it out of there, he can get free, and then he has the back. So Barrientos has to be careful here that he doesn't get his back taken.
2 minutes remaining.
If I were him, I'd be looking to try to free my leg somehow, because there's nothing I can really do here.
Kind of got him anchored down there with that leg. So ahead 2-0 is Nate Blundell. And
that was a good scramble.
Looking to get a W here with 1:40 remaining.
He needs to keep himself crunched over, because Blundell is in a position to attack that leg again if he gets it extended. So he needs to keep his knee bent and press in. Barrientos does, to keep that from happening.
You're doing a phenomenal job of relaying all this, because you're like saying it, I'm like, oh, I see it. As you're saying, like, it makes sense.
It's hard sometimes. Jiu-jitsu, the positions change so rapidly, it becomes hard to kind of voice what's going on. And he's on that straight ankle lock again. I know sometimes at the gym, when I step in front of my husband to coach people through, fighting, sometimes I'm like, I can't get it out fast enough, and I feel like a terrible coach.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job here tonight. Victoria Leonardo Mason joining us. Of course, UFC star, Shreveport, Louisiana product. Final 45 seconds here. It's Blundell ahead 2-0. Barrientos going to need to find a submission quickly if he wants to pull off a miracle. But really, Blundell's done such a good job defending any submission attempts. And like you mentioned, he's been offensive nearly the entire time, continuing to apply pressure to Barrientos here.
And he can, you can use this strategy of holding on to that leg, because, Barrientos can't do any damage to him then. So it was a good strategy for this.
Well, Nate Blundell will take home the victory, 2-0. A grappling match here between these two youngsters. And that was fun. That was really exciting for me to see something a little bit different here. You knew the entire time you were going to see some really good jiu-jitsu, and that is exactly what these two youngsters put on display for us here.
They did a great job. Looked like there might be a little bit of blood coming out of Blundell's nose. I'm not sure.
Happened to him early, like maybe the very first minute of the fight, he had a little bit of blood on there. So he kind of wore that the entire fight. But
could have been a headbutt, could have been a very hard cross face. Who knows?
He wore it well, and he will wear a W home as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to raise the hand of our winner, representing the United States Marine Corps, Private First Class, Davion Player. Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of fantastic grappling here inside the Arcadia Event Center, what a great bout it was. Now, introducing to you your winner with the score of 2-0. Let's hear it for Nate Blundell.
All right, I'm here with our winner, Nate Blundell. It has got to feel good to perform like that in front of your hometown crowd. You've got a lot of people out here that were very excited to see you win. And you did a great job grappling tonight. You go ahead, give him a round of applause. So how old are you?
15.
15 years old. That is phenomenal. I wish I started when I was 15. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
8 years.
8 years. It definitely shows. You definitely looked like you didn't have any trouble tonight. You dominated the entire time looking for submissions. What was going through your head when you had that rear naked choke?
Nothing in particular.
Nothing in particular? Sometimes that's the best policy. Is there anybody you would like to thank tonight?
My mom and dad for supporting my jiu-jitsu, and all my great training partners at Triad.
Well, they've done a great job with you. That's right. Give it a round of applause.